Okay, so we did line plot last time with the TIPS data set. Then we created a simple bar chart with the metals data set. And we plotted only the gold medal. Now, when we prepare bar charts, we can either prepare a bar chart straight from the raw data. Okay, so if you have a categorical column, say like gold, silver, and bronze, and you have bunch of rows with golds, bunch of rows with silver, bunch of rows with bronze, and so on, and you plot that, then ggplot will automatically summarize the data and then plot it. So that's your default. And we will look at an example like that in just a few minutes. On the other hand, if you've already summarized the data, so you have one row, okay, so that gives you how many gold, okay, already summarized, the data is already summarized, how many gold for United States, how many silver, how many bronze. So if it is already summarized, then you use the geom bar stat equal to identity. Okay. Now stat equal to dot dot count dot dot is the default. So which means it will go through the column, count how many values are there for each unique factor level, each unique category, and then plot that. So that's dot dot count dot dot. But when the data is already summarized, then you use identity stat equal to identity. So which is what we did here, and we added the value labels, etc. So now let's look at that same metals data set. So we plotted this column where the values are already summarized. Okay. So let's go ahead and plot the other two as well, and then arrange them in a grid. Okay. So let's first plot them. Okay, so we'll get to stack plot in just a second. Okay, so let's say that we plot ggplot metals, okay, AES, and then X in country and say gold. Okay. Now plus geom bar. Okay. So now since the data is already summarized, we have to say stat equal to identity, right? And then we can add theme, which is the way we set up value labels. So we can say axis. Okay, so here we're going to slant the x-axis labels. So x-axis, so axis, and then text x. Okay, so that's your x-axis text. And we want the element text angle equal to 45. Okay, so that will be like an slanted like this. And if you say 90, then it will be perpendicular. And then H just, so justification on the horizontal, let's say is 1, and then we add, okay, geom text can be used for the value labels, how tall is each bar. Okay, so and for that we are going to give a separate AES aesthetic. Okay, so label equal to, we want the label to come from gold. Okay, and let's say V justification, vertical justification is minus 0.2. So, here we have the chart. Okay. So, that is good. That is one chart. This is for gold. Now, what we want to do is to create another one for silver and another one for bronze, and then arrange them in a grid format. In Python, we did that by subplots AX and then giving numbers like row number, column number, and the plot number. So, here I will show you how to do in just a second. So, now that we have set up the plot for column gold, then we can simply copy that twice, all right, and then change. Everything is same except that in place of gold we will use silver, right, and for the third one it will be bronze. Bronze should be, I think, that. Okay, so there is bronze and here is silver. Make sure that all the three plots are getting plotted error free. Okay. So, now we have the three plots set up, okay, and the way to arrange it, okay, is to capture each of these plots and save them in a separate object. So, after having made sure that the plots are good, so I am going to go in here and then say P1 for plot 1. So, this first plot, a gold plot, is going to be saved into this object P1. Okay, so and then we will save this plot into P2. So, well, I didn't run the first one, so let us go ahead and run the first one. Make sure that the object gets created. So, we have P1 and P2. So, if you click the arrow, you will see all the information that is saved as a list. So, this object, the graph objects, is a list class. So, P1 and P2, and we save this in P3. All right. So, now we have the three plot objects have been saved. Now, to arrange them, we need to use a library. So, library grid extra. Now, this may not be there. I don't think it's there, right. So, we need to go to packages and install grid extra. Okay. Now, once that's installed, then you run this code again. So, now it gets attached. Now, we can arrange them. So, grid extra has, okay, so here there are lots of different options available. The one that we are going to use is grid arrange, and then you say what plots to be arranged. So, we want to arrange these three plots P1, P2, P3, and then you specify how you want to arrange it. Okay. You can give number of columns into which the plots need to be arranged and the number of rows into which the plots need to be arranged. So, if we say n col, that is number of columns, n col equal to 1, then the plots will be arranged in a single column. Okay. Now, if you say n col equal to 2, then it will get arranged in this fashion. Now, you see that some of the value labels are getting messed up, one thing you can do is the code chunk option, okay, has I think it is plot size or figure size. Yeah, figure, no. Figure height, I guess that's what it is. Figure height, okay. So if you say figure height equal to 10, okay. Now, of course, when you run, it's not going to show you, well, it does show you, okay, you can see that, well, the size seems to be the same. What will happen is when you knit, when you produce the PDF, then you will see a much better version of that. And you can see that in the PDF that I have given, okay. So that's one way of controlling how big individual plots you want, how big individual plots you desire. So that's how you do that. Okay. So that's grid arrange.